Hello, people. I am on my way home from work. Just left work, literally pulling out of the parking lot at work. And I wanted to record this because I just had a really rough day. And I don't want to say a really rough day, but I had a really half a rough day. So I don't want to be talking too long, but I kind of just wanted to, I guess, vent and kind of get my frustrations off my chest. I probably won't even post this anywhere, but I think I need to get it off my chest and talk about it. But my ex has a habit of texting me the most randomest things. We had plenty of opportunity before we got divorced. During our mediation sessions, we had plenty of opportunity to sit down and discuss what we were doing with the girls, what our plan was, what we wanted to happen, co-parenting wise, future wise, if we wanted the girls to, maybe if something would have happened to both of us, where we wanted the girls to go, if something would have happened to me, if I wanted the girls to go to her, if something would have happened to her, you know, would I want the girls to go to her, or would I want the girls to go to me, whatever. I don't even know what I just said, but whatever. We had plenty of opportunity to have those discussions. We separated. Really, I asked for a separation and divorce like July of 2018 or 2019. I want to say 2019. Oh goodness, guys, it has been a journey, and it has been a whole ordeal. But I asked for divorce July of 2019, and 2018. Sorry, guys. Oh my goodness, 2018. I asked for a divorce July of 2018. We did not move out from living with each other until April of 2019, or she left the end of March or beginning of March. I left beginning of April. So she moved out in March. I moved out in April of the apartment that we shared together. We moved separately into separate homes. She was trying to convince me at that time to move into another home or another apartment with her, or a home with her, and I was like, no, I can't do that. So we separated. So during the separation, we didn't get divorced until October of 2019. So think about it, guys. We separated from each other in April of 2019. We didn't get divorced until October of 2019. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and the end of October, guys, like right before Halloween. And we had so much time to iron this all out, and I wanted to get this all ironed out and all set and all squared away. And her biggest concern was the fact that I had a friend, guys. Now me and this person are currently dating or together right now, but at the time being, when I was going through my divorce, we were not together, and all I was really looking for was support. I was looking for a person who knew me, and just looking for support. And I had lots of support. I had my mom, I had my uncle, I had one of my best friends, her name is Trina. Thank you, Trina. I had a lot of support. I did. And I also had this person who happens to be an ex of mine. I know what you're thinking. Sorry, guys, my camera is shaking because I am driving. So if it looks crazy, I'm so sorry, but it is shaking. But I had a lot of support. I had a lot of people on my side that were behind me 100%, and I really appreciate those people. Now, one of those people in my corner, in my circle, just happened to be my ex. Me and him were together for 5 years, and we broke up due to the fact that we were young and we were stupid, and didn't know how to communicate with each other, and so we did stupid things without communicating with each other because we assumed that we knew what the other one was doing, and we really didn't. And we basically messed ourselves up, and we ended up breaking up. Now, in the midst of me going through my situation with my ex, I ended up getting back in touch with him, which kind of helped me in my situation, because having support from your mom, having support from your family, having support from your uncle, your aunt, whoever, cousins, brothers, sisters, is wonderful. But having somebody to talk to that already knows you in an intimate setting, or someone who's lived with you, or me and him were together for 5 years, we were engaged, and so he already knew me in the setting of, you live with me, and we were intimate. So having conversations with him definitely helped me see that the things that my ex were saying and doing were a bunch of lies and a bunch of bull, and she was just creating situations. I'm sorry, guys. You guys are shaking really bad. I'm just on the highway trying to make it home. Actually, maybe trying to make it to my daughter to pick her up. And like, it's just darn highway. These roads are terrible out here. Trust and believe, these roads are awful. So if I'm shaking a little bit, I apologize, people. So during our divorce, I wanted to make sure that we got the girl squared away. Unfortunately, my ex was not focused on that. She was focused on everything but. She was focused on her emotions. She was focusing on how she felt about my friendship with this person. She was focused on my friendship with this person that at the time was just a friendship. I wasn't really concerned about dating anyone, because listen here, people, when I say I was so underwater and I was so distraught after dealing with her for 8 years, and then coming out of that relationship and realizing what she was doing, how manipulative she was being, the things she said and did was just her way of like flipping things to make it seem like it was me. Really, it wasn't. All of that was, once I stopped dealing with her and came out of that cloud, or that bubble of anxiety and frustration and panic attacks and all of that, and started getting some clarity and realizing what was happening, I didn't want to deal with anybody, but having his support was definitely helpful. Granted, I was in therapy too, so I had a lot of support and a lot of help, and I struggled and I strived and I broke free of my relationship with her, and I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of how well I did with the whole thing, and throughout trying to figure out what was wrong with me and trying to deal with all the emotions and depression and anxiety that I felt myself. Not only that, in the midst of that, I had her degrading me. I had her calling me names. I had her talking badly about me in my face. I had her talking badly about me in front of my children. I had her just being a downright awful person to me the whole entire time, that she denies and says she didn't do, and I can't blame her for what she said and did, because she wasn't on medication, and I can't blame her for what she said because she was hurt and she was going through her own emotions and feelings, and that's why she lashed out to me. And she said all of this to me, guys, within this whole situation. So we got a divorce in October. I am now dating the person that was there for me, and like I said, he was there for me, and I definitely needed that support, and it made me realize what I had in that person, because his support was exactly what I needed. So it made me appreciate him as a person and him as a man. And yes, we started dating. Now, granted, guys, my ex is also dating someone. Please don't think that she is not, even though she has several times through text message and phone calls, said she will never date another person again. She doesn't want to put a person through what she put me through. She's told me she wasn't over the situation. She'll never date anybody else. Literally all of this mess, which I did not believe, because I know it was a bunch of baloney and a bunch of hoo-ha people. It was not the truth whatsoever. She just wanted to see if I felt sorry for her, which I did not. And literally a month after we broke up, or not broke up, sorry guys, a month after we got done with the divorce and the divorce was final, we signed the papers, she started dating someone. So she is in a relationship at the moment. But for some reason, guys, she still comes at me. I'm sorry guys, this camera is shaking really badly and I don't even know how to tighten it up. I don't even know how to make it so it's not shaking, because that's just ridiculous. As to the amount of shaking of this camera, and I don't even think it usually shakes that bad, this stand, so I don't even know why it's shaking like that now. So the baloney and hoo-ha that my ex has fed me to make me feel sorry for her and make me feel bad for her in some sort of way, I did not fall for any of the foolishness, because I knew it was all an act and it was all just a show to see if I still somewhat cared about her. And don't get me wrong, guys, at a certain point I did still care about her, until she completely started to disregard our children's feelings and showing that she really did not care what happened with our kids. She was only concerned about herself. So I go into that to say today she texted me and she asked me a question. And at first, guys, I wasn't going to respond to it. I wasn't going to answer it, because I've been graystoning my ex for the longest. I've been nonchalantly giving her blank answers. Yes, no, that's fine, okay, sure. Like, I don't respond to her and I don't give her any inclination of anything. No emotion, no nothing, because I know if I do, then she's going to go in with her craziness. So I don't respond. Today she asked me a question as to if something were to happen to me, like as if I were to die, which I'm sure she would love that, if she would get my oldest daughter, which is biologically my daughter, who I have full custody of. She asked me, would she get her? And at first I was not going to respond to her. I was just like, this is just a ploy or her usual antics to get me to have some sort of crazy conversation with her that I really don't feel like having today. And at first I wasn't going to answer. And then, you know what, I said, you know what, I've been graystoning her long enough. Let me just go ahead and burst her bubble today. As to know, you do not get the chance to completely act up and completely, guys, she completely changed our parenting plan. We had a parenting plan inside. We always said we would always both have our girls. We always said that we would make sure that the girls grew up together, and she completely changed that. She lied and said that her doctor, that my daughter's doctor said that she should live with her because she had bad allergies. We had my youngest daughter tested, which is biologically her daughter. She is not allergic to a darn thing. And the only thing that kind of peaked in her allergy test was eggs, just a little bit. But they said the only thing is that if she has an abundance of it, it might do something to her. But other than that, like, she's not allergic to anything. And my ex tried to tell me that my youngest had really bad allergies and that she would have to live in one house because her allergies were so bad, and all of this stuff. And then I spoke to the doctor, and the doctor was like, I never said anything like that. Like, legally, I can't say whether a child can live in one house or not, especially between two divorced people or two people being separated or being divorced. She's like, I have no say over that. I can never say that. So she lied about that. That was the first time. The second time is that she lied when she was in therapy, and she said her therapist told her that she needed to spend more time with our youngest because she needed to build a bond with her, which I understood. That's perfectly fine. That is true. You do need to build a bond with your children, because she did not have one. She had one, sort of had one to our oldest daughter, but my ex and empathy and emotions and feelings and all of that, she don't have it. So having a connection or a bond to people is really hard for her, especially because of what she went through as a child. So yes, she did need to bond with our youngest, which she was not bonded to her whatsoever, even though she gave birth to her. So the second time, she tried to say that her therapist said she needed to live with her because, and she needed to have her full time because she needed to build a better bond with her. And so I said, okay, since we are going through a divorce, because our divorce was not final at this point yet, I need that in writing. I need it in writing, or I need to be in a therapy session with you and your therapist where she can tell me for herself to my face that you have to do this. And she was like, oh, well, that's not what I meant to say. When I speak to you, I get all mixed up and turned around, and that's not what I meant to say. Oh, okay, it's not. Oh, that's interesting, because that's what you said. Point is, people, I don't want to talk too long. I'm already 15 minutes in, and I don't want this video to be too long. But she texted today, and she just simply said, if something were to happen to you, would Mari come to me? And at first I wasn't going to respond, but then I finally said, you know what? No, she wouldn't. She wouldn't, because I don't trust that you have both of our children's best interest in heart, because throughout our divorce you proved to me that you do not care about our kids and what happens to them, because you completely and utterly disrespected everybody in the situation, including our kids, by only being concerned with your own emotions and feelings and how you felt about things, because that is all she was concerned about. My friendship with another individual had nothing to do with me and her, and whether or not we could communicate effectively to come up with a good parenting plan for our kids and our kids' future. Had nothing to do with her, had nothing to do with our children. But she could not do that because she could not see past that, because she could not see past the fact that I wanted to be around somebody else that was not her. So I told her that, and she's like, well, how are you going to tell me that I can't have my child? And I simply told her exactly what I just said. You showed to me that you don't have our children's best interest in heart. And that is why you are parenting your child and I am parenting mine. You are not raising this little girl, I am. And that's not fair to my daughter, because both parents should be raising her. But that is the way my ex has shaped and formed it, because she was so disrespectful to me. There was no way that I could co-parent with her, because that means I would have to deal with that disrespect, because she's still doing it. She's still disrespecting me. She told me today I chose a man over my kids, because she still can't get over the fact of what happened, and she's still being disrespectful, and she's still dwelling on it. And that's not fair to me, and that's not fair to our daughters. I have a younger daughter that I don't even get to see on a daily basis because of the situation, and she tells me it's not because of her. She didn't create the situation, I did, because I chose a man over my kids. No, I didn't. I didn't start dating that person until after me and you were done, completely and utterly done. Trust me, people, it has been a process. My ex tried to get me arrested over a situation that she caused. So there's so much to this story, and so many things that have happened dealing with her throughout this divorce, throughout this separation, throughout all of this. And I'm just tired of it. I want to get to a point where I don't have to, and I'm at that point now. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to react to it. I don't want to have a conversation about it. And I'm going to stop responding to her, because it's not fair to me, and it's not fair to our kids that she feels like she can just say whatever she wants negatively to me, and then it's not going to affect anything, because it does affect our relationship. And the fact that we have 2 kids together and we can't even get compromise or get together or be cordial towards each other, because we still have the situation of her still disrespecting me as a person. And I'm tired of it, guys. I'm so tired. There are so many days that, and I don't want to cry, and I'm not going to. There's so many days that I just wish that we could just split ties. You take your child, I take my child, and we just go ways. But in my heart of hearts, because of the type of person I am, because of the type of mother I am, I know that will break my heart. And I cannot do that. I cannot lose my youngest daughter. Even if I only get to see her 2 weekends out of a month, I cannot lose her, because that is my baby, and I would never do that to her. I would never have it where she loses a mother. Never. All because my ex can't get over herself and her stubborn, selfish ways, because she's just so determined that I'm to blame for all of this. That I'm to blame for all of it. that her abusive ways and her harsh ways and her negative things that she said to me over the past 8 years is just something we can just blow in the wind. It's just okay. But you can still have negative comments and still say negative things to me till this day, and it's okay. It's okay. It's clearly something that she thinks that I'm supposed to deal with, because I have to. And I'm not even co-parenting with her. We're not even co-parenting anymore. We are now responsible for our own biological children, and we just get visitation to the other child. This is not co-parenting, and I've already told her that. We are not co-parenting. There's no reason, shape, form, anything that we need to have any conversation beyond, hey, are you picking her up from school? Hey, do you want to switch a weekend with me? Or hey, this child doesn't feel well. Just wanted to let you know. There's no conversation that should be had outside of that. But I keep having to deal with this. And I keep having to be told that it's my fault. And that all she tried to do was be respectful. But she calls being respectful calling me names and calling me a cheater and calling me a liar and calling me all kinds of things. Telling me that I don't take proper care of my kids, that I don't fix their hair. Just all kinds of things. Telling me that if any harm were to come to my oldest daughter, that she'd hurt me. These are the things that I have to deal with. That she just thinks that's just okay. Guys, I'm just over it. And from now on, I'm just going to stop responding to her, because I'm just going to go back to not responding to her. Because I don't want to make it seem like I don't care about my kids, because I do. They're my life, they're my world, they're my everything. But I cannot continue to deal with her. And it's not fair that I am divorced from her. And that's one thing. I do not have to take the abuse anymore. I don't. I in no way, shape, or form have to be abused by her anymore. So I won't be. And that's a power that I need to take back. And that I've worked so hard to take back. And I'm going to continue to work on it, to keep it, and not allow her to have any sort of effect on me. Anyway, guys, like I said, I don't know if this will make it on anything. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, anything. It's now 22 minutes long, so I don't even know if I'll be able to upload it. But just don't let people take your power. Don't let anyone convince you that you are something that you're not. If you know you're a good person deep down inside, don't let your ex convince you that you are something that you know that you are not. All right, guys, gotta go. Have a good day. Bye.